Family finding closure after years of searching for the remains of local Navy Commander James B. Mills, who went missing during the Vietnam War. 23 ABC's Vanessa Romo joins us live from Bakersfield High School, where he attended school, with more on now how families are finding that closure tonight. Vanessa?
It was on September 21st, 1966, when Mills went missing, 52 years ago. And shortly after that, this tree, the Freedom Tree, was dedicated to him, becoming very symbolic to the family over the years.
I was 10 months old when my uncle was declared missing in action.
52 years ago.
It was a lot of years for our family not knowing for sure that he died in his plane crash.
On September 21st, 1966, Mills and pilot James R. Bowder were declared missing in action.
He had come home and they needed guys to go back. So he went back. And I believe it was his first mission on his second tour of duty when he was shot down on a late night, early morning. They wasn't sure if it was over land or over sea, which made the searching harder.
And while they searched, this tree grew at Bakersfield High School, a tree dedicated to Mills, a BHS alum and standout athlete.
Kind of reminds us how long the family waited for answers.
And while the tree grew, it took a toll on Mills's family.
I remember as a kid too, when the war ended and the names of the men who were returning were scrolling across the TV screen, and my mom was watching the TV, and then she'd break out in tears.
Because Mills again and again was not on that list.
So my grandfather quit being principal at East High in the early 70s, I think 1973, and he went back to Washington, D.C. and was one of the first directors of the National League of Families of POW MIA, trying to get accounting for all the men who were missing in action, prisoners of war.
And Mills' sister following in those footsteps, while also searching for her brother. Finally, a tiny bit of hope coming about a year ago.
This part of the water off the coast of Vietnam can only be searched like once a year. The tides and the visibility only allow once a year. So it was a year ago that his co-pilot, James Bowder's remains were identified.
And on August 20th this year, Mills' remains were also found.
Pretty shocked in these last few days to receive the emails with confirmation from the Navy that his remains were positively identified through a rib.
52 years later, the Mills family can now lay their hero to rest. Mills' family says his services will be in June of next year at Arlington's National Cemetery. Now, they wanted to coincide with the League of Families meeting days before. Live at Bakersfield High, Vanessa Romo, 23 ABC.